Death. There comes an occasion which we all must attend. Some day the time comes when we must face our end. A rather sad fact, so to say the least. Some day we'll all be noted deceased. We'll see to our wills, tie up any loose ends, then say our goodbyes to our family and friends. From here we'll be buried, to the earth we are fated, or sent on the air once being cremated. And then that is that, the end of the story, no matter our memories or ambitions for glory. Some are quite open to this realization, others react with much hesitation. It's not the sort of thing that will lighten up the mood, but rather set in melancholy and leave a soul to brood. Reactions to passing will take on all kinds, some would just rather put it out of their minds. Deny as you might, or pass with deflection, but it's fact we're all headed in the same old direction. There seems little comfort that comes from a fall, but I feel I must tell you, this is not true at all. I'm sure that you've heard this particular phrase, when one door does close, another opens always. You'll brush this aside and may not want to hear, but someday you'll see that this message is clear. Just as the autumn is the summer's passing, when winter has gone, life comes with the spring. An animal passed with regardless of breed may return to the earth or give something to feed. A mentor now gone, whose wisdom was passed to a student who now can rise up at last. When life itself has faded and there are no wars left to fight, the universe collapses and all is left as night. Stillness will take hold, no movement anywhere. Silence will be echoed and will be all that's there. But then the day shall come, this will no longer do. A great explosion will burst out and begin the universe anew. Light will shine out once again, bringing triumph and each strife. The story will begin again and bring the gift of life. Where one life does end, another takes its first breath. Life starts anew at the passing of death. Shark. Such wonderful beasts, those sharks of the deep. They wander the ocean in a long graceful sweep. Blackened eyes, great toothy jaws, and tails that go swish. There's varieties aplenty with these great iconic fish. Whale shark and saw shark are truly such a sight. Then of course we have the bull, the mako and great white. Spiny dogfish, hammerhead, horn sharks and then frilled are only some to mention where fear and wonder are instilled. Such fascinating creatures in so many different breeds, hunting through the waters, chasing anything that bleeds. Their majesty is marvelous and truly very clear. You can also understand why they instill such fear. To just have the thought of being alone, trapped in the ocean and soaked to the bone. The waters around soon chilling your skin, which is only made colder by the sight of a fin. But as I understand, they're not really so bad. To be left alone, they are only too glad. Although there is one of which legends do speak, one seen now and then, which seems quite unique. Sailors and divers have succumbed to this beast, meeting their fates as a part of its feast. Those who have lived have passed on the tale of the great colossus in the watery vale. That which does hunt without one single threat, even us humans are as food to it yet. A being so large that most whales are small, to see such a creature all bravery does stall. It's given a title, and one that does frighten, the one type of shark considered a titan. wrecking many a vessel, leaving naught but a mess of driftwood and offal in such awful excess. A ship will be sailing on the great open seas, when then comes a sight which causes unease. A great razor fin which tears through the hull, seeking the sailors to eat and to cull. For these are its waters, and this it does please, where naught but a meal sets sail on the breeze. It will hunt where it chooses, in the light and the dark. It remains uncontested, the great hungering shark. Monk. Away in the country does a monastery stand, peaceful, serene, it is truly grand. An ancient construction, made with timber and stone, up near the mountains it stands all alone. The mountains themselves stood high and so strong, they reached to the heavens all the day long. Below lay a mixture of fields and trees, which swayed beautifully in the day's gentle breeze. A river ran through the fields so well, it nourished the lands and the beasts that did dwell. It all was a point of natural pride, a calm tranquil place for those who reside. At home in this spot the monks do convene, a community here for centuries they've been. Here they could find a purpose and peace, somewhere to belong that would never cease. Brothers of sorts, united in reason, and cared for each other through each passing season. Where once there were many, there is now only one, still spared the fate where the others had gone. For one winter's night, and through the long dark, a strange many things did promptly embark. Voices were heard, on the winds they did mutter, outside of the windows, the doors and the gutter. Some monks hearing this did wander outside, to locate the sources wherever they hide. For those who did stay, much to their concern, when morning had come, they did not return. Some chose to leave in the light of the day, evil had come and they must get away. But others would not, they sharply did claim, for this was their home, and they would remain. Night after night, more monks disappeared, the voices grew stronger, the greater they feared. This happened for weeks, as all felt bereft, until there was one young steadfast monk left. He fought off the voices and stuck to his prayers, he'll protect his home for as long as he dares. Until darkness has come and all hope has sunk, he shall remain vigilant, that solitary monk. Sight. Some jobs are tough, and others are easy. Some employees are great, and others just sleazy. Some jobs you can do from the comfort of home. Others require their employees to roam. They can take you places of wonderful sight. Others can test you as you witness such plight. Jobs can be boring and pick at your soul. Others excite you and make you feel whole. The work that you do can matter a lot. It really depends on the job that you've got. For you see, there are jobs which require discretion, and those who will act at a sign of transgression. There is a site, and I cannot say where, but its importance is no small affair. It requires of type of person to manage, keep it ship shape with minimal damage. To be employed here was a hardened vocation, and none were permitted to know this location. This site that I speak of, so unique of a place, holding the fate of the whole human race. For in this very spot an artifact rests, the purpose of which has yet been addressed. But what we do know from experiences past is that its influence is scarily vast. When first contact was made by a bold research team, it wasn't too long before it started its scheme. Those poor foolish souls, but how could they know that the more minds it has, its power does grow? Eventually, after careful inspection, they found out a way to make some protection. For the most part, the people at station can resist the dark item and its dark infiltration. They have been trained, preparations were done, but sadly for all, its reach had begun. Occasionally, some wandering soul will be drawn to this place for some unknown goal. They'll try to get in, but they're rarely a threat. Sadly, when they come around, their fate is now set. No matter their begging or how hard they fight, all those who enter must stay there on sight.